I'm Gene Rust, and my military career was with the U.S. Air Force, and I served in Korea. And through volunteering and this and that, why I ended up in Korea with the Central Intelligence Agency, and in the motor pool, I was classified as heavy equipment operator, and Uh, you learn real quick up there, over there, that with the situation and everything, you don't ask and you don't tell. And a lot of things you kept to yourself. And the one I think that stuck hardest with me, the lieutenant called me up and asked me if I would help him out and volunteer for something, and I said, "Yes, sir." I said, "I'll help you if I can." And um, so he told me to check out a Jeep for the evening, get a dispatch on it, and have side curtains put on the Jeep. And I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Then I want you to go to the supply and check out an M1, two clips, and be ready." I said, "Okay." And he said, "Report in front of headquarters." So I did, and at 7 o'clock, he came out, and there was another civilian with him, which who I knew, and but anyway, they got in the Jeep and said, "Okay." So they guided me to a safe house, and in a way, he told me to go 10 yards out in approximately, and just turn my back to them and be alert, which I did. And so, anyway, about a half an hour later, they called me and come back, and they were inside the Jeep. Now I got another passenger who was Korean, and so didn't say nothing, just drove, and they told me where to go. And on en route, we were stopped with an MP road check, which they did quite often, and the MP shined a flashlight in there and wanted to know was wrong with the Korean, and they told him that he was drunk and passed out. And thank God the lieutenant was with the military police too before his reassignment, and so they let us go, and we went to another safe house, and they told me to repeat, go 10 yards and stand there, which I did. And after a bit, they called me and got back in the Jeep. Now the the Korean is, almost said gook, that's what we refer to him, but the Korean wasn't in there, and said, "Well, let's go home." So we went back to our compound in Tongnay, and the next day the lieutenant called me up, and my nickname over there was Tiny, and he said, "Tiny, I want you to come over." And I said, "Yes, sir." So I went over to headquarters and went to his office, and he got me in and sat me down, and he says, "Now I got to tell you what went on last night." And I almost said, "Sir, I don't want to know." But he said, "No." He said, "We found out that that Korean was a double agent," and he said, "So he was given a lethal injection." And I said, "Oh boy." And he said, "So we wanted you to know, and you know how to handle it from here." And I said, "Yes, sir, I sure do." And so that was one of the things that I had to keep my mouth shut about and not tell, which was in a way upsetting me in a little bit, but it took me a little bit. I got over it and went on with my life.